What is up, guys? My name is AG Hades, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, we are, well, we're talking about World War II. When it started, when it ended, and everything in between. We are going to be focusing on the guns and some other very key things for the war. So, let's get into it. World War II started the 1st of September on 1939 and ended the 2nd of September 1945. It went on for approximately 6 years and 1 day. Some of the biggest nations that some of us that people may know of are the United States, Japan, Germany, shit, and and Poland. Poland for a completely different type of reason. The amount, so over this whole course, the Allies had a outstanding amount of military dead, which is just basically all military personnel who died. Over 16 million died. Civilians dead. Over 45 million deaths for the civilians. A total of over 61 million deaths. And on the opposite side, military death was over 8 million, civilians dead over 4 million, and that brings the total of dead for the enemies to over 12 million. And some really big and well-known events happened, like the bombing of England, Pearl Harbor, the Battle of Midway, D-Day, and a lot more. And I will be reading just off of the things that I've noticed that were really, really big for within this time. So, let's get into it. I also forgot the Battle of Norway. And finally, the Mountain of Hot Rocks. The Battle of Norway, April 1940. And before we do get into this, I just want to say these dates will be all over the place. So there will be timestamps for specific dates. So if you don't want to read them or listen to them all jumbled, go ahead and do that. And for Spotify, I don't think I can do that. I need to check. But let's get into it. The Battle of Norway, April 1940. After the German invasion of Poland in September 1939, 1939, and declare declaration of war by England and France. There was a period of almost 7 months known as the Phony War. Neither side engaged on the battlefield. Civilian life continued as normal in all three countries. The thickened, I don't know how to say that word, that crumbled. In April 1940, when Germany invaded Denmark and Norway. Britain wanted to stop the Germans from transporting Swedish steel through the Norwegian port of Narvik. They mended. I don't know. They mined the water and obscured seaports, bloodied accentuating British naval power. But Hitler's response was decisive. For words that I don't say correctly, by the way, I will be putting them up on screen, just so you guys do know. And more effective. Blitzering, or I believe that's a German word, combining forces, pinpoint air strikes, crack ground troops, and fifth column treacheries. The German war machine tramped. The Battle of Norway was over in the blink of an eye, assured by Hitler's bold stroke, yet ill-prepared to strike back with authority. The British compounded their mistake and set in a small force without artillery or anti-aircraft weapons, and were soundly and tragically defeated, caught flat-footed by German strategy and integrity. The British would fight back, but they'd learn a valuable lesson in the art of war. Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air force of the Europe of the Empire of Japan, Franklin D. Roosevelt. The drums of war had been pounding, but still it was sudden and devastating. No one expected the attack by Japanese forces on the American base at Pearl Harbor. In a 2-hour surprise attack on a Sunday morning, with Japanese pilots screaming "Tora, Tora, Tora" as they went into battle. The forces are rising. The forces of the rising sun dealt the American military a decisive blow, a total and utter victory, with a near 80% of the fleet destroyed and 2,500 troops killed. It was a near fatal dagger thrust into the heart of the U.S. forces. America had been caught unprepared, and the Japanese did not fully understand how that roused the nation. A nation that prepared itself on hard work and discipline. Americans believed in the Boy Scouts motto. The U.S. declared war the next day, revenging the attack at Pearl Harbor. Would be a rallying cry until VJ Day. The Battle of Midway, June 2nd, 1942. Midway, the turning point in the naval war in the Pacific territory. That's not correct. Treader, when America re-engaged an equal footing with the force of the Emperor Japan. The Japanese mission was to drive the U.S. out of the Pacific altogether. The tiny island was secondary. This was for control of the high seas. The Battle of Midway was the first major naval battle between the United States and Japan. Pearl Harbor had hardly been a fair fight. most likely a sucker punch, and they were doing it again, strafing and bombing the American base at Midway Island. A tactical surprise they assumed would particular would per, would percalate holy shit, I'm stupid. The Americans from a swift counter. But the time U.S. intelligence had broken the main Japanese diplomatic code and knew of the impending attack, learning the enemy in the Americans now surprised the Japanese with a downser attack. Outsmarted and outfought, the Japanese fleet retreated to the west, and Midway was still in American hands. Victory had been costly for the Americans, but not action of them, but not taken of. Oh my! I'm so stupid. Of Japanese supplementary. What? Had been entirely shattered. The tide had begun to turn. D-Day, one of the most impacted and most talked about and well-known portions of World War II. D-Day, June 6, 1944. It all came down to this one day. At 12:15 on the morning of June 6, 1944, the Allied invasion of Europe began. In Normandy, France, known as Operation Overlord. The numbers involved were standing 4,000 transports, 8 warships, 11 aircrafts, and over 3 million soldiers. The epic details may have been incredible, but the cost of the battle was all too real and all too human. While naval guns and bombers assaulted the beach, fortification. What? I don't know. Allied forces swarmed ashore. The fighting was fierce, relentless, unimaginable. The brilliant invasion sequence of Saving Private Ryan only scratches the surface of the hell on Omashia Oma Beach, Omaha, Omaha Beach, Omaha Beach, Omaha Beach. Yeah, I got it. But Allied forces were not to be stopped. Scaling the supposedly impenetrable Italic walls constructed by the Germans. These brave men fought their way out of the sand and surf into the headings of the French found of what of the French seaside and set their sights on Paris. By June 12th, they had successfully taken all the beachheads, and it was time for the likes of Badley and Pension to drive the knife into the heart of the German war. And before this video continues, I just want to come on here and say, if you enjoy this video, please do make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see me next. And let's get back into it. And also, again, I will be putting the words that I don't read correctly up on screen as I read. The Last Stronghold, November 1944. My God! Crew members on board the Enoge over Hiroshima against August 6, 1945. American forces had nearly taken control of the Philippines. The Gilberts, the Marines, the Solomons were all under control, as were Burman and Singapore. All that was left was I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, Gemma and bloody Okinawa. Right at the doorstep of Japan, just 350 miles to Tokyo. But the warlords of Japan would not give up. 100 million died together. They would proclaim. Many more would lose their lives. All because of a desperate wish to save face. In the meantime, there would be little food, transportation failures, and school closing, plus an Allied blockade and B-29s raining massive questions of quantities of bombs all over Japan. But there was one particular bomb destined for Hiroshima, and that still would not be enough. So the madness continued. Comic as civics struck back in a frenzy quest to defeat their country and die with honor. The Allies pondered the possibility contained consensuals from the invasion, and ultranium would fail. It would take another bomb, and the destruction of Nagasaki, I don't know, to finally end it. Mount Hot Rocks. February 19th, 1945. Isle Jaman was an ugly little island. Only 750 miles from Tokyo. The Japanese had transformed it into a fortress, created a labyrinth of impredationally pillboxes and blockhouses with artillery and machine gun nests, commandeering every inch of this mountain of Valkensia ash. It would take everything the Marines had to win this one, and then some. They went down with transports, warships, and 30,000 Marines up to their ankles in mud and ash. They found themselves in instant target for swarming Japanese gunners coming out of nowhere and everywhere. The Marines paying for every inch of the island in blood 3,650 Marines were killed or wounded in the first 2 days alone. But on the morning of February 23rd, after systematic hitting every digout and pillbox, every cave and foxhole, praying the technicians, Japanese, from the last possible stronghold. They made their way up Mount Subarisha, the key defense position of the island, and raised the flag. That it became the most famous photograph of the war. These brave Marines, hoisting the colors of Chivalrith beneath them, lay over 4,000 dead. The fighting was the toughest the Marines ran across in 168 years, said one officer. This royal throne of kings, this cispered isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other demon tourist, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war. This happy breed of man, this little world, this precious stone seat in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall, or as a moat defensive to the house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed pilot, this earth, this realm, this England. Alright, so now I am going to be reading the specific guns that you would usually see for the Allied regions and for Germany, because I don't have that time to do anything else. And by the Allied regions, I only mean America and Britain, because I also don't have the means to read every last Allied region's weapons as well. So, let's get into it. bladed weapons that you would usually see in World War II for the United States. Caber knife, standard issued melee weapon of the United States Army. M1 bayonet. M3 fighting knife. M4 bayonet. M1905 bayonet. M1917 bayonet. M1942 bayonet. Mark 1 trench knife. United States Marine round steel Bowie knife. The usual sidearms that you would see, or some of the most popular ones, are the Colt M1911 A1, standard issued pistol for the United States Army. Browning high power, produced by Remington Arms and John Lings for design plans for escaped Balling workers, not very commonly issued to frontline troops. High standard HDM, used by OSS agents. Colt M1903 pocket hammerless, used by police and OSS. Colt M1917. Colt M1927 officer pistol, also known as Colt M1927 Commando. Smith & Wesson military and police. The standard shotguns, or some of the most well-known, and I'm just going to read some of them off. So, some of the most well-known ones are the Browning Auto 5 and Remington Model 11 and Savage Model 720. The Model 11 is the Remington manufactured A5 shotgun with short barrel, issued only as emergency weapon. The Remington M10A1 or A, and the Stevens M520 30 and M620. Some of the most popular machine guns, and also some of my favorites: the Thompson submachine gun, standard issued SMG of the United States Army. Virtuous verments used by Army and Marine Corps. The M3 grease gun. M3 variant was the main variant used during the war, introducing a low-cost replacement for Thompson, but never completely replaced it. The M50/M55 ricing, whatever, used by USMC from 1941 to 1943 in the Pacific and supplied as lendless and to USSR and other countries. Some of the most popular assault rifles, automatic rifles, and by some of the most popular I mean the only automatic rifles, the M2 carbine, only used in the final battle of Okinawa in the Pacific, and the Browning M1918. This model is a battle rifle due to its capability of semi and fully automatic fire, and its lack of bipod. Some of the most popular rifles: the M1 Garand, standard issued rifle; the Springfield M1903A1, original model, manufactured by Springfield; the M1 carbine; the M1A1 carbine; protruded version of the M1 carbine with folding stock; the Remington model 1903A3, Remington manufactured Springfield M1903 rifle, used by Marines early in the Pacific, phased out by M1 carbine and M1 Garand. And the enlisted, used in criminal and training use. Some of the most popular sniper rifles were the M1C Garand, adopted in 1944, published very limited use on Pacific, never recorded any combat in Europe. The Springfield M1903 A1, which is the same thing that there was there, with a Intel 7.8x scope. USMC verticals had a 8x scope. The Remington M1903 A4, Remington manufactured Springfield M1903 with M84 or M773 B1 scope. Some of the most popular machine guns were the Browning model 1918 A2. This model is a light machine gun due to having a bipod and being incapable of semi-automatic fire. Standard issued LMG of the U.S. Army as a squad automatic weapon. The Browning M1919 A4 and A6, medium machine gun, U.S. Army main fire support weapon. The Browning M2HB, heavy machine gun. Browning M1917A1, heavy machine gun, commonly used by USMC, and the M2 Stinger used in the Battle of Iwo Jima, very limited use. And I would get into the grenades and everything else there, but that would be an extremely long video, so I'm going to stop there for that one, for the US. Now, the United Kingdom. So, for the United Kingdom, for the edged weapons, there was the BC-41 dagger. There was the Fairbairn Skies fighting knife. There was the Chris dagger, British Malaya. There was the Crookie machete used by Graha Regiment. There's the peering knife, British Malaya, and the smart chit, knife sword, and a sword. For the sidearms, it was pretty nice. It was pretty okay. For the most part, it was all about the same stuff as the American side, but with the addition of the Colt M1911. And this is a gun that you may know from a lot of different games, Call of Duty being one of the biggest names. And that was mainly the biggest one. And I believe almost everything else is around the same thing. Let me make sure though. Oh no, never mind. Okay. Anyways, sorry. So for submachine guns, there was obviously the Thompson. There was the Stin submachine gun. About 4 million produced from all sources. The Sterling submachine gun. A few prototypes used in trailers. And the launcher submachine gun. A copy of the German MP-28 used by the Royal Navy, RAF, and some commando units. For the rifles, there was the Lee Enfield number 1 Mark III and number 4 Mark I standard issue rifle. There was a Lee Enfield number 5 Mark I jungle carbine. There's the Enfield or Lee Enfield. Yeah, so Lee Enfield pattern P1914 used by Home Ground. There was the M1 carbine, the M1 Garand, the Enfield main rifle for the Enfield M1917 main rifle used by home ground. The Springfield, the Rose rifle supplied by Canada, used by the home ground. Deadliest carbine, limited numbers, used by special forces such as commandos. The Airsoka Type 38 British Milia and Type 99 sniper rifles were the Enfield pattern and Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I. For the machine guns, there was the Brin, the Lewis machine gun, much also known as the dinner plate for a lot of people, I believe. There's a lot of names for this gun. I like to call it the dinner plate. But there's other versions, I believe, of the dinner plate. I don't know. Rescued after fall of France, when British Army lost most of their equipment in Dunkirk. The Browning M1917, the Browning M1919, the Colt Browning, used by home ground, the Vickers K machine gun, limited use, LRDG in North Africa, some reconnaissance units in 1944 to 45, the Vickers machine gun, main heavy machine gun of British Army, and the Vickers breather machine gun, Indian Army use. And that's all for like the guns in that one. Stop it. Now for Japan. The Japanese edged weapons are the Type 2 bayonet, the Type 30 bayonet, the Type 42 bayonet, and the Gunoto? I don't know how to say that one. Which is a sword. Sidearms are the Browning FN M1910, the Colt M1903 pocket hammerless. There's a lot of them. The revolver, yeah, the Type 26 revolver. And for these ones, I'm just gonna skip over some of them because that would be a lot of talking. For submachine guns, there's the Type 100, the Type B SIG Berman, adopted by the SNLF it wasn't issued to troops fighting on the Pacific Front. The types steer solotherm S1 to 100, and obviously Thompson. For rifles, there's the Arisaka Type 1 rifle. There's the Arisaka Type 38 rifle. There's the Arisaka Type 44 carbine. There's the Arisaka Type 97 sniper rifle. There's the Arisaka Type 99 rifle. There's our Arisaka Type 99 sniper rifle. And there is the Terra Type 2. For light machine guns, there is the Type 92 machine gun, the Type 11 light machine gun, the Type 96 light machine gun, and the Type 99 light machine gun, the FN Model 30, the VZ26. For heavy machine guns, there's a Type 1 heavy machine gun, limited use. There's a Type 3 heavy machine gun. There's a Type 92 heavy machine gun, standard HMG. And there's a Type 97 heavy tank machine gun. Tank machine gun, less common as infantry gun due to its weight. And for... where is it? Where's Germany? There we go. Germany. For Germany, there were... holy shit, there's a lot of sidearms here. There was the edged Steedenged 84 98 3 bayonet for the K98 Car 98 rifle, standard issued melee weapon of the German army. There was the Kampfmesser 42 combat knife. There is the whatever. For sidearms, I'm gonna just skip over some of them again because there's a lot of them. There is the Walther PP and PPK, German police standard issued sidearm, privately purchased by officers. The Bernetta M1934, designed as pistol 671. The Colt M1911 A1, which I believe this one is the one that they usually use in games like Call of Duty. Let me check. What? Yeah, I believe it is like one of the guns that have been. This one, I believe, was the one that they used for Call of Duty. Anyways, not the point. For foreign weapon? What? submachine guns. There we go. There was the MP-41, the MP-28, the MP-38, and the MP-40. There was also the MP-30 or 3008. There's the PPSH-40, the PPSH-41, the MP-44, Bernetta Model A, the Bernetta Model 83A and 38. That's what it is. 38. A and 42, and the ZK 383. Automatic rifles, the STG 44 and the FG 42 rifles. There were also a lot of rifles at that time. Holy shit. The carbine, the carbiner 98K, otherwise known as, I believe, just called shortened every now and then to just Car 98K. Yeah, Car 98. Car 98K, same thing. Sniper rifles, obviously Car 98K. Submachine gun, or machine guns, MG13, MG34, MG42, MG08, MG35 to 36A. And that's it. Now, I'm not 100% sure of how long this video is, but if you guys did enjoy this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below which one to see next, and as always, please do remember those three most powerful words: peace, love, positivity will always get you to that day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Also, if you really like these more long-form videos, please do let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys later.